sit however comfortably we would like to. Most of us can sit with our legs crossed, that's great. And maybe at some point, if you have pillows or something that you'd like to prop yourself up on, that always feels good, just to elevate the spine a little bit. That's why I like to sit on my heels, because it just gives me a little bit of a lift. Let's take the backs of our hands and rest them either on our thighs or on our knees, or lap the hips, wherever out in front of us. And close your eyes for just a few moments here so we can cultivate our energy of yoga, and in this case, really a special venue in community, and a place where we can kind of find our little house of silence, you know, our own little homes in yoga, where we can hold ourselves still in both body and mind, and explore a little bit of breath and hopefully a little bit of peace, even if it's just for the moment or just for the class. The practice does have lingering effects. If you put a lot of yoga into your body, you then, it then gives it back out to you, maybe when you're not on your mat. So one of the reasons why we like to practice. Find a nice length into your spine, a little softness to your face, and a little attention to the breath, to the stillness, and if maybe to the silence. Maybe that silence is just within. Sometimes we have to incorporate the sounds around us as part of our practice. Pratyahara refers to your five senses and how they relate to meditation and how they relate to your yoga practice. And in meditation, the sense that is probably the most challenging is our sense of hearing, because there are, what most likely will always be sounds around us, if not just my voice, then whatever other ambient sounds are in your space. And we learn to make peace with that. And I think we've learned to make peace with a lot lately, and maybe even a lot more on top of that throughout the course of our lives. And we always come out the other end a little bit better. Yoga taught us to find that little bit of control within ourselves to bring out our best. And that helps us to relate to whatever the results are surrounding us, outside of us and outside of our control. Having your palms face up on your lap is a gesture of openness, of receptiveness. So perhaps there's a lesson out there this afternoon that has your name on it, and you're just telling that lesson to come on in. You're making yourself available to that. Open your heart and maybe a little bit of your mind to your yoga practice. Take a breath and reach the arms up over our heads, finding length into our side bodies. And then join your palms together, please, and bring your hands to your heart center. Gently blink open your eyes just for a moment, and we'll get right out of our legs, right out of our hips, and into a downward facing dog. So you're upside down, letter B, on your yoga mat. Send your arms out in front of you, your feet back behind you. Lift your tailbone well up into the air. Take up space in your surrounding room, in your surroundings, and let the side body get long. Imagine, envision space and length into your spine, into your muscles, into your body, into your breath. And this can be done with a little bit of a bend to the knees. You can even do this with your knees on the floor if you need to. But take advantage of the breath, this very, very important pose in our yoga practice, our downward facing dog. And we'll come back to it quite a bit in our practice today. Your next inhale, bring yourself forward and put your right knee down on the floor. Lift your left leg up in front of you, and then take your right arm up in front of you as well, going for a bit of a spinal balance here. Nice. Reaching through the right fingertips and through the bottom of your left foot. Push into your left arm to keep your rib cage lifted so that you maintain length into the spine and into the chest, and get very long into that arm and into that leg. Take your right hand only, place it back down on the floor, Take your left leg and swing it out to the left. Place your left foot on the floor, and then bring yourself up to this quasi-kneeling position. So my left leg extended out to the left. I'm on my right knee. Reach your arms out parallel to the floor for gate pose, Parigasana. Take your left hand on your left leg and lift your right arm up over your head. Now you can tilt your torso to the left. You might not go very far. It's a fairly deep stretch, but just take the action of reaching up into your right arm, in through your right ribs, in through your right waistline. And as you do so, keep your hips pressed forward just a little tiny bit, as they do tend to stick out as we open up the hips a bit in this pose as well. It's a very strong side bend. Now go the other way. Take your right fingertips down onto the floor and take your left arm up over your head, much like a supported side plank. Get long through your left arm. Again, push your hips just a little bit forward and very gently ease space into the body. No sudden jerky movements here, just allowing yourself to find the space, even if it takes a little bit of time. Beautiful. Come back up to the center with your both arms up overhead. Bring your hands to your heart center and place your both hands back down on the floor in front of you. Push into your arms, pull your belly in, lift your left leg up, and keep it lifted as you swing it back behind you. Now take your right arm up in front of you, again for the spinal balance. Inhale here. Exhale, bring the elbow and the knee together under your belly. Inhale, breathing, extend them both. Exhale, breathing, squeeze them in together. Two more. Inhale, breathing, reach out. Exhale, breathing, squeeze in. One more. Inhale, extend long, and exhale, pull it in. Reach them out just for the last moment here, and then place the hand and the knee down. Tap back into a child's pose and let your hips open up. You can allow your knees to widen a little tiny bit as you let your forearms, your head, your chest, everything come down towards the floor. Relax your hips back towards your heels. Take your hips and just wiggle them a little left and right. Very, very mild movements here in the hip. It's a nice way to get a little deep into the hip. A good way to warm up the low back and the glutes a little bit as well. Make sure you're breathing. And from here, extend your arms back out in front. Nice. And return, downward facing dog. Tuck the toes. Tailbone lifts up into the air, keeping the spine in as much length as you can. Relax your head and your neck. Shake it out if you'd like a little tiny bit. Press your thigh bones towards the wall behind you. Power through your legs a bit without locking or getting gnarly in your joints. Really find the power in your muscles instead, and then give it some breathing as you build heat in your body and you really do start to warm yourself up. Inhale, breathing, come forward into plank pose again, and put your left knee down on the floor. Right underneath your left hip, pick up your right leg. Reach your left arm out in front of you and hold your spinal balance here just for a moment here. Pulling your left hip back. Reach through your right toes so your right leg stays incredibly long, the glute stays engaged, and the low belly muscles pull in and lift. And then reach long through the left arm and through the right leg. Make sure you're breathing. One more breath here. And now place the hand down. Take your right leg, swing it out to the right, and then place the foot down on the floor. Lift yourself up into the gate pose on the other side. Reach your arms out to the sides, parallel to the floor. Take your right hand down your right leg and lift your left arm up. Push your hips a little forward as you do so and reach up for your right arm. And maybe look up if your energy is that way and start to feel some space onto the left side. Keep your right foot flat on the floor. Your right leg muscles are somewhat engaged. The chest lifts up away from the hips. Place your left fingertips down on the floor right outside your left knee, and then take your right arm up over your head. If the floor is too far away from you, books or pillows or something to elevate your hands can always be an option so that you can find more space into your body. Sometimes props give us more space. They don't take away, they actually give a little bit more. Engage through your right leg, press your right foot flat, reach through your right fingertips. One more time. And then bring yourself all the way up, arms up over your head, and bring your hands to your heart center. Place your hands down on the floor in front of you. Pick up your right leg. Sweep it out behind you. Again, take your left arm up into the air. Spinal balance. Inhale. Exhale. Elbow and knee touch. Give it a squeeze. Inhale, breathing. Extend long. Exhale, breathing, and pull it in. Good. Inhale, breathing. Reach. Two more. Exhale, breathing. Warming up the belly. Inhale, breathing. Extend. Last one. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, breathing, extend it out, and place the hand and the knee down. Come right back to downward facing dog. Each one finding a little bit more space into your body. In your downward facing dog. Very nice. Tailbone lifts up. Good. Good, Kathy. Relax your shoulders a bit. Nice, Robin. Firm up your arms a little tiny bit. Press your legs back as well. Make sure you're breathing. Good, Christine. These look good. Two more breaths here. Downward facing dog. Well done. One more breath. And then look forward and walk or jump your hands to your feet at the front of your mat in a forward fold. Bend your knees just a tiny bit. Place your hands on your outer hips and very gently bring yourself up to a stand mountain pose. Inhale, breathing, reach your arms up over your head. Exhale, breathing, and take a forward fold. Bend your knees if you'd like. Drop your head all the way in towards your shins. Inhale, half lift. Push your shins back. Reach your chest parallel to the floor and step your right leg to the back of the mat. Come into a runner's lunge. Left knee is bent. Pick up your left arm. Inhale, breathing. Open up and twist. Stay down in your hips as you do so. Maybe look up at your left hand and pull your left hip back as you take your right rib cage and your left knee and you bring them closer to each other. Bring your left hand down on the inside of your left leg. Straighten your left leg and then turn yourself into a wide-legged fold. So turn yourself over to the right, drop your head and drop your chest down. Good. Walk over to your right leg and give it a hug. So take your both hands and reach for the leg. Maybe you can get the right forearm to connect with the leg a little bit. And as you bring your torso closer to your right leg, keep your left hip lifted. Don't let the left hip drop down. You'll find tremendous stretch in your lats happening that way. Bring it on over to the other side. Walk over to your left leg and give your left leg a hug as you pull your right hip up towards the ceiling. Let the right side body and the hamstrings start to find a little bit of length. Well done. And now walk back to the runner's lunge. Turn your left toes towards the front of the mat. Bend your left knee again. Put your hands on either side of your left foot. Drop your hips and lengthen your spine. Good. Put a little bend into your right knee and come up into a high crescent lunge. Inhale, breathing, lift up from here. Let your side body get long. Begin to feel your back muscles engage quite a bit. Draw your belly in. You can always bend the right knee, and that's going to give you some nice space into your back. The more you straighten the back leg, the more the back can arch, depending on your hip flexors and just how tight your hips might be. So find that happy space for you. Press evenly into your left heel to engage the left quad. And even firm up the buttocks just a little tiny bit as you stretch and reach your arms up over your head. From your high lunge, gently land the right knee down on the floor into a low lunge. Bring your hands together in front of your heart and take a prayer twist. Hook your right tricep to the outside of your left leg. Turn your chest towards your thumbs and take your eye gaze beyond your left elbow. Pull your left hip back. And then breathe as you draw your inner thighs towards each other. Now lean your chin up a bit. Don't let your head get too terribly close to the tips of your fingers. Keep space into your upper spine. One more breath here. And take this right into downward facing dog. Put your hands down on the floor. Pick up your back knee and take your left leg to the back of the mat. Downward dog. Inhale, breathing. plank pose. Shift your weight forward. Bring your shoulders over your wrists. And now exhale, breathing. Lower yourself down onto your belly. Release the tops of your feet. Good. Take your hands behind you and interlace your fingers. Pull your knuckles back and lift your chest up for a little shark pose here. Use a lot of back strength and arm strength and leg strength to get a little bit more lift and space into your chest and your shoulders. Release your grip, place your hands down, and bring yourself back to down dog. Tuck your toes, lift yourself up off the floor, and take your hips up into the air. And look forward, bend your knees, and bring your feet up to the top. Nice. Bend your knees just a bit, place your hands on your outer hips, and bring yourself up again to a stand. And we'll do the second side. Inhale, stretch up, nice and tall. Exhale, breathing, and come down, forward fold. Glance forward, inhale, left leg now steps to the back of the mat, coming into your runner's lunge on this side. Letting the hips drop a bit, putting weight into the heel. Lean into your left arm, pick up your right, turn your chest. Pull your right hip back as you do that. Keep your hips low. Your left hip stays lifted. The hips as a whole, though, should be below your shoulders. Take your right hand down on the inside of your right leg. Straighten your right leg. Turn yourself 1/4 to the left. A wide-legged forward fold. Reach for your legs. It can be your calf, your ankles, your heels, and very gently let your head and your chest drop down as you pull yourself into a wide-legged forward fold. Nice. Let the upper body hang. Let the upper body hang. Take the weight a little bit forward, good Kathy, into your toes. Very nice, Robin. If you have to bend your knees, that's fine. That's perfectly okay in any kind of a forward fold. But see if you can relax the back, the torso, the belly, the head, and the neck. Just use your arms and your legs to get yourself a little bit deeper into the position. Well done. Release your legs. Bring your hands back under your shoulders. Push into the floor. Walk your hands towards your right foot. Turn your right toes forward into a runner's lunge. Slight bend to your left knee and lift yourself up. High crescent lunge. Bring yourself up, nice. Make sure you're not pitched too far forward. Your shoulders are back over your hips a bit. You can find a little bit more depth into your front leg, and that might mean bending your back leg as I have mine bent. That's fine. The tailbone can drop in. You can actually get a little bit more control of the core and of the belly. Reach up through the fingertips, let the side body get long as the lower body gets strong. And then very gently place your left knee down on the floor, low crescent lunge. Bring your hands to your heart center, prayer twist. Turn your torso to the right. Hook your left tricep to the outside of the right thigh and turn your chest towards your thumbs. Lean your head back just a little tiny bit and use the dynamic of the arm against the leg to get the rotation in the spine. That can feel good. Spine twists can feel so nice. Good, Marilyn. Relax your shoulders. Keep your shoulders down away from your ears. Well done. Take one more breath here. Good, Leslie. And then release, hands down, and again, downward facing dog. Vinyasa, inhale, come forward into plank pose. Exhale, lower down either to chaturanga or come down to the floor. And then inhale, lift up into cobra or upward facing dog. And then roll back into a downward facing dog. From your down dog, take your left leg and lift it up into the air. Bend your left knee, stack your left hip on top of your right. Squeeze the hamstrings in your left leg and get your left heel closer to your right glute. And then take your left foot and step it all the way up in between your hands. Warrior one pose, bring your back heel down. And inhale, breathing the forward facing warrior, lift yourself up. Hold your chest up. Engage through your back muscles and reach up through your arms, drop down into your front foot. And press firmly into the back foot, keeping your back leg engaged. Low belly muscles draw in just a little tiny bit. One more breath here. Put your hands down on the floor. Step your right foot to the front of the mat. Step your left leg to the back of the mat. Warrior two pose, the open warrior to the side. Warrior two with your right leg forward. Right leg bent, left foot flat on the floor, reaching your arms out parallel to the floors, drop down into your hips. Good. Pull your belly in, hold your chest up, then reach lightly from fingertip to fingertip. Good, Sally. Nice camera views today. Good, really good, Christine. Let your shoulders drop down, the inner thighs begin to engage just a bit. Now control the breath or the mindset, the thought, the something in your body, in this pose, in this moment. That is your piece. That is your challenge. Very nice. One more breath here. Turn your right palm up, reverse it. That means lean back. Good. Lift up through the right rib cage, drop down through the hip. Good, Kathy. Keep that strong bend into your front leg. And now all the way down to the twist. So put your hands down on the floor, spin on the ball of your left foot, pick up your right arm. There you go. Twist it out. Nice. And then vinyasa, okay? Or skip the vinyasa and just do down dog. So depending on the heat that you want to get in your body, the vinyasas are a great way to work your arms. I know I've been doing a lot of them in the last 8 weeks or so. It really does make a difference in your upper body strength. From your downward facing dog, right leg lifts. Bend your right knee. Squeeze your right leg. Get your right heel close to your left glute. As the inner thigh opens up, the knee points up towards the ceiling. And then take your right foot and step it up in between your hands. Warrior one pose. Lifting yourself up. So right leg forward for your forward facing warrior pose. Lifting up through your chest, settling down into your hips. Good. Pushing through your back foot as your back muscles stay engaged. Very nice. Few breaths. Find some depth into your front leg and a little bit of lift into your upper body and the back of your heart. Well done. You can look up. It's a great way to direct your energy. And certainly the energy in the upper part of the body is going up as the lower part of the body gets grounded and strong. Good. One more breath here. Very nice. Good, Gloria. Put your hands down. Yeah. Step your left foot to the front of the mat. Step your right leg to the back of the mat. Warrior two pose. You're opening up warrior on the other leg. Your left leg forward, and you drop down into the position, reaching the arms apart. Letting the hips start to open up a bit, firming up the legs, warrior postures, great lower body expression. These look good. Eye gaze is soft. The face is even softer, not clenching teeth or squinting eyes or anything like that. Very calm, very calm. Back out of the pose if that's a way in which you can find better control over it. That is practicing yoga. Turn your right front palm up and lean back. Reverse the warrior. Yeah. Lift up and go back. Well done. Good, Christine. Getting the space. Really nice, Jane. Into your upper left rib cage. And then lunge twist. Take the hands down on the floor. There we go. Pick up your back heel. Spin on the ball of it and take the, I think it's the left arm up. There we go. Nice. And then vinyasa or not. Again, if you want to step it back to down dog or take it through the vinyasa. Nice. Pace yourself though, not too quick. Nice, Sally. Yeah, back to your downward facing dog. Well done. And from the dog, look forward, bend your knees and either step or jump to the top of the mat. Good. Bend your knees a bit. Good. Place your hands on your hips and then bend your knees even more. Chair pose. Reach your arms up by your ears and settle down into quite the powerful posture for the lower part of your body. Well done. Bring your chest down over your thighs and sweep your arms back behind you, like kind of like downhill skiing pose, some of us call it. Come back to the chair pose. Lift your chest up, lift your arms up, and then bring the chest back down again. This time, interlace your hands behind you. Take a forward fold. You can separate your feet a little bit to give yourself a little bit more space. Drop your head in your chest as you pull the knuckles up into the air, opening up across your chest and your shoulders. That's good. Squeeze the fingers a little tighter together. Really get a firm grip and try and lengthen your arms as well. Soft bend to the knees will give you all the space in your low back. Well done. Release your grip. Step your right leg to the back of the mat. Warrior One pose. Inhale, breathing. Lift yourself up. Virabhadrasana 1. Well done. A little bit quicker here, second time. One more breath. And then put your hands down on the floor. Step the right foot up to the front of the mat. Step the left leg back. Warrior 2 pose. Inhale, breathing. Opening up into your Warrior 2. Good. Reverse the warrior. Take the right arm up. Let the right hip be even heavier as the right fingertips reach up towards the ceiling. Extended side angle. Bring the forearm down on the thigh and take the arm up over your head. Good. Make sure your shoulder, good, Gloria, doesn't come up by your ear. Your left arm fully extended. Very nice, Jane, as the palm faces down onto the floor. Beautiful. Reverse triangle. Lift yourself up, straighten your front leg, and lean back from it. Push into the ball of your right foot as you reach up through your right fingertips. Good. And then triangle pose, come forward. Reach yourself forward, side body bend. Bring the right arm down or your right hand down to your right shin and take your left arm up into the air. Firm up your legs. Don't let your hips stick out behind you. It's a very actually strong twist into the spine, subtle elements of a back bend to prevent the chest from turning towards the floor. Lift your torso back up, hold your arms out there. Turn your right toes in the same direction as your left toes. Wide-legged forward fold, come down. Put your hands down on the floor. Turn your fingers the other way and walk them all the way back through your legs. Drop your head, drop your chest. Good. Lift your tailbone up into the air. Nice. Side body gets long. Well done. You can start to feel as if you're pulling the floor towards you, almost as if you bend your elbows and you grip the floor like an isometric pull. You'll get a little bit more in your back, in your spine, and in your legs. Good. And then walk your hands back forward, underneath your shoulders, look forward, and walk them to the front of the mat. So just turn into a runner's lunge, bend your right knee. From here, pigeon pose. Take your right foot, pick it up, slide it over to the left side of the mat, and lower your hips down on the floor. You can bring your left heel underneath the front part of your left hip. Inchworm your left leg back a bit. Let your hips settle down, and then slowly start to come forward onto your forearms. You might even get your forehead down onto the floor, depending on how you mitigate the weight going into your right hip. You want to be careful of the knees in the pigeon pose. You want to be careful that you don't chase the depth in this position. You do have, the position of your body and gravity and such, really giving you that kind of stretch in your hips. And we do hold this one a little bit longer so that you can have time to ease into it. One more breath here. So we'll stay in the pigeon now that the hips are warmed up a little bit, and just lift our chest up And walk your hands back. Walk your hands back, lifting your chest up, maybe even coming onto your fingertips. Notice how the back engages with this a little tiny bit, or a lot of it, quite honestly. Good. And then maybe just for a second, you can bring your hands to your heart center. And downward facing dog. Put your hands down, lift yourself up, and step back into your dog. Good. Inhale, breathing, come forward into plank pose. Exhale, breathing, vinyasa, lower down. Lift your chest up, strong cobra here, and take it back, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. And 1 more breath. Look forward, bend your knees, and up you go, top of the mat. Good. Inhale, bend your knees a bit. Place your hands on your hips. Nice. Bend your knees a little bit more. Chair pose again. Lift your chest up. Good. Let your tailbone reach down. Imagine creating space from the bottoms of your hips to the tips of your fingers, getting that much length. It's a lot of leg strength. Bring your chest down, sweep your arms back, downhill skiing. Come back to your chair pose, lift your chest up, good. Again, bring the chest down, downhill skiing. Interlace your hands the other way and take the forward fold again. Pull the knuckles off the low back. Drop the head and chest. Soft bend to the knees if you'd like, work the arms back, creating more space in between your collarbones, opening up the chest, let the neck be free. And let the head hang. Good. 1 more breath. And bring your hands down to the floor and step your left leg to the back of the mat. Warrior 1 pose, inhale, breathing. Last bit of this sequence on the other side. Just a couple of breaths here as we drop down into the hips. Like all the space into the upper part of the body. Put your hands down on the floor, step your left foot to the front of the mat. Step your right leg to the back of the mat. Warrior 2 pose. Inhale, breathing, open up. Nice. Reverse the warrior, lift up, lean back. Nice. Drop down into the hips, good Kathy, maybe looking up at the top arm or hand. Extended side angle, take the left forearm down to the thigh. Taking your body at an angle, and then the arm, top arm, right arm goes up over your head. Engage through your inner thighs, turn your chest up. Reverse triangle, lift the torso, straighten the leg, and lean back. Push into the ball of the foot, take it all the way back. Triangle pose, come forward. Bring it on down. Left arm down, right arm up. Firm up through the legs, open up through the chest, reach up through the top arm, engage through your back muscles. And feel your breath. Very powerful, powerful. Good, Gloria. Lots of lines of energy here. Nice, Jane. Inhale, bring your torso back up. Hold your arms out parallel. Turn your left toes in the same direction as your right toes. Last forward fold, wide-legged fold. Yogi's choice here. So you can take any variation that you'd like. Some of us do headstands, if that's your thing. Put your head on the floor and lift your legs up into the air. If not, any of the variations of the forward fold that we just did earlier. Just for a few breaths here, finding what speaks to you in your body in this pose for now. 1 more breath. And then gently bring your hands back down underneath your shoulders. Inhale, look forward. Walk them to the front of the mat. Turn your left toes forward. Runner's lunge. And here's where we come into the pigeon. Take your left foot. Bring it over to the right side of the mat and drop the leg and the hips down onto the floor. Inchworm your right leg back behind you and lift your chest. And then take your body weight down and forward over your front leg for your pigeon position. And then rest here. So you can let your body weight come down and in a bit. Collect your breath a little bit and feel the sensation of your hips speaking to you. Fantastic hip opener, but Pigeon has been used for ways of strengthening your back and your legs and other ways than what we have and are doing now. Good. Now one more breath here. And then slide your hands back under your shoulders. Push into your arms, lift your chest, right? You're gonna feel your legs squeeze in together, maybe coming onto your fingertips, your back muscles like a cobra engage, and maybe just for a second, you bring your hands to your heart center, if that's in your practice today. Good, Christine. Downward facing dog. Put your hands down and step it on back. Good. Your last vinyasa. So come forward into plank, chaturanga, up dog or cobra. Good. And downward facing dog. All right. From your down dog, place your knees down on the floor, and we'll make our way onto our backs. Bring yourself around so that your legs come out in front of you for some bridge poses here. So lie down on your back, okay? Your feet about hips width distance. Nice. Have your arms by your sides with your palms facing down. So we'll take a few dynamic bridges to warm up, and then we'll actually hold the pose. So on an inhale, lift your hips and your arms at the same time until the backs of the hands touch the floor over your head. And then exhale, breathing, bring the arms and the spine and the chest down onto the ground. Good. And a few more, inhale, breathing. You don't have to wait for my words. Maybe your breath and rhythm is a little bit different than mine. Exhale, you're coming down. And now continue a few more of these, noticing how good it feels on the spine and how supple you can get the muscles that surround the spine as you do this. One more time, bring it up. I'm starting to feel your legs. One more time, power up after the warrior series. Good. And now we'll hold the bridge from here. So lift yourself up. You can keep your arms by your side. A little stronger variation would be interlacing your hands underneath your back. Up. Squeezing your shoulder blades together and giving you a little bit more support in your upper body. Let the back of the head rest on the floor. The neck stays neutral. As you take your knees, you reach them forward. The front part of the body starts to open up. And certainly your hips do. Nice. Couple more breaths. Stay with this. Very classic, very good posture for your back and for your legs. One more breath here. And then slowly lower your hips down. Good. Bring your right knee into your chest, interlace your fingers. Good. Take your left leg and lift it up into the air. Nice. And then slowly, as your left leg comes down to the floor, pick up your head and bring your nose towards your right knee. Good. And then inhale, let go of the leg and extend the arms up over your head. And then exhale, breathing. Again, pull the right knee into your chest. Bring the knee to your nose. Inhale, extend and reach. Exhale and squeeze in. Nice. Two more. Inhale, reach it out. Exhale, grab the knee, nose to knee. More close. One more. Inhale, breathing. Take it out. And exhale, breathing. And pull it in. Good. Hold the knee in there. but lie back down. Slide your hips a little over to the right for a twist. Take the leg and roll it over to your left side. Reach your right arm out to the side as well. And let the hips relax a little tiny bit. Let the belly relax. You do want to find as much letting go, I would say, in your mid-body when you start to do twist. Try not to resist the sensation. It's quite a deep experience for the body, but it's a very good thing for the spine and for the low back, particularly after all the standing work that we did. One more breath here. And then release back onto your backs. I'm going to do that all on the other side, and it's going to start with the bridge pose. So here we go. Walk the feet in, recenter your hips, and push up into bridge. Interlace your hands if you'd like, or push your hands down. You can actually step on your hands. I kind of like that, walking your heels in a bit and letting your heels actually step on the palms of your hands. And you can really start to create a little tension to help get the hips up a little higher. It's another variation, a little bit of a deeper variation of the bridge pose, kind of as if you're cupping your heels with your hands here. Right. One more breath here. And then slowly lower down. Good. Bring your left knee into your chest. Take your right leg, lift it up into the air. And slowly lower the right leg down, pick up your head and your chest and bring your nose towards your left knee. Good. And then inhale, let go, extend the left leg. Exhale, breathing, pull it in, reach for it, squeeze. Good. Inhale, breathing, extend. Exhale, breathing, pull in and squeeze. Nice. Two more. Inhale, breathing, get long. Exhale, breathing, compress and squeeze. One more. Inhale, breathing. And exhale. The left leg in. Good. Lie the head and the chest back down, and we'll take the twist. Good. Roll over to the right side. Reach your left arm out to the left. You can support your left knee with your right hand in any way that you need. The legs can pretty much will find their way in this pose. A little bit of internal hip action on the left side, which is a good thing. We're used to working our hips in an external way in yoga, so we do want to take them internal as well. And then let the back and the belly all relax here just a bit. Settle into a few breaths, a bit more of a calming sensation comes to us. We go back to a little bit more of gentle stillness and silence, preparing ourselves for Shavasana. And then very gently come back to the center. Yeah. So last pose, happy baby pose. Bring your both knees into your chest with the legs bent. Take your arms on the insides of your legs and then reach for your ankles or your feet or your heels. Do so without the tailbone lifting up. Press the hips down. Let the side body get long, the back of the body get long. And allow the weight of your arms to open up into the hips a bit. Two more breaths in this one. Even a little rolling left and right. I feel kind of nice. Take this to a close. One more breath. Let's rest for a few moments. So release your legs. We will take a collective Shavasana and close of our class today. Let's find our sweet little resting pose on our backs. Letting the arms, the legs, such, find a comfortable distance away from our bodies. And close your eyes, let yourself settle. We will take a few moments here in silence, resting the bodies. Now starting to deepen your breath a little bit. Bring a little movement back into your body, subtle and gentle. Take your arms over your head and give yourself a delicious full body stretch. And then bring your knees into your chest and give yourself a hug. And we'll come back to our seat, our seat of asana, our seat of yoga, really. As we did when we began our practice. This time we'll take our hands and we'll place our palms down. It's way more grounding and it's a little bit more familiar, a little bit more nurturing for ourselves. We're together here. Close your eyes just for a moment as the practice comes to a close. And I hope what is the beginning of a very lovely weekend for everybody. It's so cool that we get to do this. I'm just so stoked to be here and to see everybody continuing their practice this way. Take our arms up over our heads. Big breath. Reach up. And then exhale, bring your hands together. Bring them in front of your heart. Chin into your chest. A million thanks from me, from us to you. And until next week, I say namaste.